All right. What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, a.k.a. Talk About Gay Sex Podcast, celebrating 7 years of podcasting. This is episode 588. I am your host, Steve V, in studio alongside Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. The energy is already through the roof. I can't wait for this show.
It's a hot summer day, and you are crop topping it as you should.
That's right. Gotta have that body out, honey.
The Stonewall Inn of it all. I love it. Thank you so much. And guess who is joining us in studio? Teddy, Alexis.
Hey, ladies. How are you?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, this is a treat for us because you have graced us as the Ana Navarro of TAGSPodcast when you came and said yes to us a year ago, maybe a year and a half. Yeah. Who can keep track post-COVID? And you are now here in New York City. You live in LA. What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, well, I was in the East Coast visiting some friends, and I'm like, why don't I swing by New York and see my friends? And of course, a must-stop was a TAGSPodcast, so here I am.
I love it. Well, I love it. We have a little bit of a studio audience. Your friend is here. Shout out to Austin.
Hey Austin, darling.
You could be our producer for the day. Something you don't like, just wave your hand and we will check in with you. But we want to grill you because you haven't been here for a minute. You have a glass of wine, so you're kind of prepped up. We lubed you up earlier. We've talked your ear off, but we just have a few questions. I've got a few, and then you'll create a few of yours as well for now. Kodi.
Wow.
We get 3 each.
Okay,
so,
cool. I'll come up with at least 2.
I already asked why you're here, so you already asked that, so I get 2 more.
Okay.
But
Is this like Andy Cohen and I can like pass to one, or what is happening? Oh, okay.
You got to answer everything.
You can move on if you really want to. This one's an easy one.
I say no.
Okay.
It's a 2-parter though. Based on going out in Los Angeles as opposed to New York, who has the better outings in LGBTQ gay land?
Well, you know, LA's a little more spread out, so there's more options, I gotta say. Yeah. But I haven't experienced a lot in the nightlife. Like, I did go out last night, and we had a good time. But, you know, it's really hard to beat WeHo and all that stuff around there because there's so many options there. You can walk to different bars.
Okay, but I heard...
But I love them both equally.
Okay, but you know, fair enough.
That
you
is a cop-out.
Hey, you know what? You got to be a supporter of your hometown. So, and I used to live in LA and loved LA, so I can see the allure. I love it myself. One of your favorite bars is in the West Village that you told me about, but you tell us what's your favorite bar in the West Village.
Here in New York,
yes.
The Duplex is my favorite because they have really strong AC and really nice drinks.
So important right now.
Right? Especially now. Guys, the weather is not nice here. What is happening?
It's like the islands without the...
No. The islands are breezy. It could be humid, but it's breezy. It's like muggy here. I'm sorry. New York, what's happening?
And I was going to say, there's a hint of trash in the air, and it's lovely.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me when you say that?
To be back. You know why.
There's a hint of trash in the air.
And for people that don't know, the Duplex is a piano bar that actually, and then upstairs they've got DJs playing. Do you go there for the live piano music and the singers, or do you just like the bar?
We went earlier, so it was just the bar and the good AC. Can't beat that.
I like it.
All right.
Well, that was like a 2-parter, so
All right. So we've been talking about the Duplex.
Well, I gotta say first, I love you, Kodi.
I love you too, baby. It's so good to see you in person.
Good to see you.
All right.
Grill me.
So weird. So did you sing at the Duplex? Is that something that you went down there to do?
No, I was here to sing with you, and you moved your date to August. What's happening? We were going to sing a duet.
I know. We were going to sing My Endless Love, weren't we?
Oh, that was not it, but sure.
Endless love. That's such an awful cheesy song.
That is not what we're
It's my
singing.
mother's
Okay,
wedding
okay.
song.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
No, she's still married.
She's
No.
not.
Okay, well,
she
then I
doesn't
can
care. You
can
can say
it.
whatever you want,
Yeah.
actually. Well, since we're on the topic of you being in New York, do you have any good hookup stories from being here?
No, I'm
Girl.
sorry. I'm waiting for you to text me. However, I'm staying with a friend of mine, and I want to respect their space. I've been on the apps. Scrub is really good here. I gotta
Really?
say, yeah.
I don't
yeah.
get any hits on
It
Scruff
is
anymore.
good.
Oh, well, it's for bears, so maybe you don't have.
I don't qualify, I guess.
But you can text me. Like my texters are open.
Okay, your DMs
Like
too.
me.
Good.
And what's popping for tonight? What we got going on tonight?
I don't know. I'm open.
Oh.
What do you have going on?
I
What do
don't
we
have
have
anything
going on?
I have nothing going on.
Okay, we
All
can
right.
fix that for
All
sure.
right, let's do it.
I'm up for a drink.
Okay.
Steve is
Two minimum.
on it.
2 minimum.
Drink minimum, right, Steve?
Well, here's the thing. This was going to be a topic for later, but honestly, I think I might. This is so weird, but like I don't know. I think I might have a UTI, a urinary tract
Okay.
infection, and I think it might be. You can. We were talking about this earlier. It's like you can get it because of dehydration, and I'm such an avid water drinker. You wouldn't know it now because we're drinking wine, but I was not very smart and was out with my boyfriend, and we went to the free Lincoln Center country music line dancing thing, and then we were like drinking all night, and then I didn't get any sleep, and then I got up the next morning on Friday and I went to the naked beach with some friends. And instead of drinking enough water in the hot sun, I was drinking a concoction that a friend brought. And I just felt woozy after, and I like crashed on my couch, and I think I like didn't really drink much water at all. And Sunday morning I woke up and wasn't feeling great. And I started to do a little deduction. Well, I saw my doctor today, and he thinks it's a UTI, so I have to be a little bit careful.
Okay.
Because I want to get over this.
Just put cranberry in your vodka.
Right.
That'll clear it up really quick.
For women, it's usually good to prevent UTIs.
Oh, not for men?
No, once you already have it, I think, though, men or women, it's like already in your system and you need to. So I'm on doxycycline.
Okay.
But it does bring up the question, are you completely honest with your doctor? And why do I say that? I wrote this in some notes today because I have been talking to doctor after doctor, and I had But Seriously, Dr. Goldstein in studio recently. We just talked to Dr. Elliott the other night when we were talking about he's a doctor as well, and the one thing that both of them agree, and they're leading doctors, is that we don't have a strong communication about sex with our primary care doctors, and I would agree with that. And that brought me to, I've been seeing this doctor for years and years, and he knows I'm on PrEP. He knows I'm gay. I get all my tests, STIs with him. I had to tell him to swab my throat and anal region early on, but he's on point with that. Today I was like, so doc, do you think that if I'm with a partner now, I have a boyfriend, and he's like, and he has a mask, so he's like, and he's looking at me with his glasses, like I'm looking at you, imagine a mask.
Yeah.
And I said, I just wanted to add one extra thing. I've been drinking his urine, and literally the eyes didn't bat. Do you think that could have caused the urinary tract infection, if that is what it is? Because we're still waiting for the results. And he was like, no, pretty much no. I was like, really? And he's like, no. He's like, hold on, I'll be right back. And he was like, it was.
He went to tell the office, by the way.
Guess what?
He's a straight man, but I say this as somewhat of a PSA. Are you completely honest with your doctor? Because I haven't always been, and this was probably my first foray to really be honest, because I've been talking to these amazing doctors that are pushing for us to really have strong communication with our doctors. And I ask you, Teddy, are you completely honest with your doctor?
Yes. And what happened is that I go to the LGBT center in LA, which is like a super privileged place to go, right?
Yes.
And so I got swapped out because the doctor that I had kind of left the center. So I got assigned to a nurse practitioner, which I thought I had like a little bit of preconceived notions. But when I met him, he just was like, he looked like me, which I love. Oh. He was like a tall guy, like bearish. And he convinced me to get DoxyPep.
Yep.
Which is, by the way, guys, it's super cheap even if you don't have insurance because it's like $6 without insurance.
It really is.
For 30 pills. And you only need 2 post-exposure. And
without insurance?
Without insurance.
$6?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but you made.
I do have insurance. That's the retail price that was in my thing, and so I paid for like $1 for it. So you can get it even if you don't have insurance. That's what I'm saying.
At certain in LA and places like this.
And I give it. So let's be honest about it. I gave it a spin. Like I had a little bit of unprotected sex during the month, and I did use it. And you know what? When I got my testing done, everything came clear. So it does protect you from exposure, which is what they're trying to avoid, right? For you to get the infection because they are running out of the what is the pill that you take when you have an infection?
Antibiotics?
Their antibiotics are running low specifically.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they want us to get that other antibiotic that is kind of like a preventive one post-exposure.
Can I ask you a quick question, though?
Yeah.
How certain or uncertain were you that you were actually exposed to anything?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Just a question.
And a great question because when you don't know is probably the good time to always be getting tested. And I guess my backup question, is this somebody that you always go to?
Oh, my God.
No. Why did you choose this doctor?
Doctor.
Yeah.
Not the hookup. I thought
no.
That's what I thought. I was like,
I mean,
is this your main side?
Please share.
Profile pic, please.
Please share beyond that.
No, so I used to always go to the LGBT center, but what happened was that my doctor left. So I got assigned to this random person, which was a nurse practitioner. And I'm really happy. I think he's very thorough. And it's all about being comfortable because sometimes these conversations are not comfortable. And I cannot even imagine if my PCP was straight.
Girl.
Well, mine is. And that's why it was such a big deal to bring it up. But, according to all these doctors we've been having on the show, Kodi, a good doctor, shouldn't even matter. We almost shouldn't even know their sexuality, but a good primary care doctor, you should be able to talk openly about sex because sex is very important. And I listened to the last interviews that I had, and I wasn't even going to say this part, but I brought, the thing about drinking my boyfriend's piss. Yeah. And I thought, could that be? Because what if it somebody else's urine? I was doctoring it myself and on an island somewhere, this could happen. And, I watch a lot of true crime. I don't know. Again, I didn't go to any school for this. I went to school, but not this. But in my mind school I went to, and I'm glad I brought it up. And I got literally the glasses like this and the mask, and he was just like, no, pretty much no.
Didn't blink an eye.
And I loved that. And that I was almost testing him to see are you my doctor? And he's my doctor.
Yay. I love that.
Yay. So what do you say?
I think that you should feel comfortable asking your doctor anything because there are so many situations that we're going to run into that are going to be outlandish to some people, but they're completely normal to us. And them as doctors, they should they've seen the gamut of it, especially if they've
heard it all.
They have heard it all. They know when you put a gerbil up your butthole. There's so many things out there that people do, and so many things that can go awry. So I think that the doctor should be
not
comfortable.
Richard Gere.
I know. It
Is
just
that
came
what
to
happened?
mind. Yeah, girl.
Allegedly.
Back in the 80s, girl.
What?
And that's so old school. But
mean,
I never heard. Did you hear about
she's
this?
25.
you two are younger.
I'm young. But I'm very comfortable with my doctor. I've been seeing him for 16 years now. So, but before that, I was with a straight doctor, and I would lie to him constantly.
Yeah.
And so it's all about finding your niche and who you can relate to. I'm glad that this happened with your doctor where you felt more comfortable with him. And I feel like Dr. Justin would be a great doctor for me because he is everything. I had such a great time with him.
Dr. Justin referring to episode 587 where we had him and he was talking about his firm tech, which
So good.
yeah, really good. Listen to that episode and you'll find out more about that. Oh my goodness.
And he's so open and I just got the great vibe from him. So
Oh, I'm so glad.
yeah. I want to see him again. I mean, like, I want to have him on again.
Definitely. Okay, well, we've got to get into some hot topics here. We're not winging it, I promise. The Olympics are on right now, but there's one out Olympian, Robbie Manson, who says he makes more on OnlyFans than he does as an athlete. That's pretty cool. He's from New Zealand. Robbie Manson says he makes more by posting content on OnlyFans than as an athlete. He's in Paris right now, where he competed in men's double sculls. I didn't know what sculls was when I read the story initially, but it's like rowing, essentially. And he's in double rower, so imagine both of them.
Like a canoe?
Yeah, we'll look it up a little bit. Yeah, here's like a little picture just to kind of show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they call it skulls?
Skulls, apparently, yeah. According to this article, I don't shoot the messenger here, but yeah. And so it's a great story on him because he's in Paris right now. He's in men's doubles sculls, and he and his rowing partner Jordan Perry made it to the finals, which is really good. They came in sixth, which, that's okay. They still made it there. At one point, he was actually going to give it up, and he's 34, but he said to Reuters yesterday that he relied on his OnlyFans income to help him keep his Olympics dream alive. He, quote, "I get more than double what I would be on an otherwise as an athlete." Read into that what you will, but and apparently in his OnlyFans, I don't think he does like penetration or anything like that. It's more, it's nude, but it's, according to him, artistic nudes. Mm-hmm. But it's bringing in the money. And the cool thing about this interview is that he's saying other athletes are actually doing it. There's a couple others that they mentioned that have gone down this road to do it. And the key that they say, Kodi, that's really important is that they're, I need you to look at me.
I know.
Cody's always on his phone.
No, but I'm looking up Robbie Manson.
The key that they say that's really important is that if you're going to do OnlyFans as an athlete right now, you need to be upfront and open. In other words, don't get caught and have, And at this point, he's not Simone Biles, which is like this, the goat.
The goat.
And I mean, if she were to she wouldn't do this.
She would never, because she has the endorsements to keep her afloat.
That's the thing.
But like on this level, I think, but he made it to the Olympics, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that he and they're all saying that the ones that, the key to do it is that you have to be upfront and open. You got to just tell everybody in your universe, and in their universe, meaning like PR people. The reason he probably got this article on Queer Tea was because of a PR person.
Probably.
And they probably said, hey, we've got this Olympic athlete who's gay, Queer Tea, and he's on OnlyFans, he's in Paris, and he's doing this. And so we are in a different time frame right now that we haven't seen in a long time. We just said, breaking news on episode 587 the other day, that 196 athletes are LGBTQ plus are participating in this year's Olympics, and the number keeps going up, up, up. I'll start with you, since I started with Kodi. What do you think of this athlete just saying, hey, I'm on OnlyFans and I make more money doing this, Robbie Manson?
Yeah, first of all, they don't make that much money to be in the Olympics.
I don't think they make any money to actually be in the Olympics, but maybe some endorsements here and there.
But you have to get those in order to actually make a living. So I'm here for it.
And again, we just said like Simone Biles, and there's like a few
She's
others.
super famous.
There's a few others, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the only person that I've heard of that has been on OnlyFans. And I think it's wonderful if you can do that and make that your outlet to make money and not compromise yourself or do anything that you don't want to do, then go for it. Why not? If you love your body and if you want to show off all your hard work, I say do it. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for all the other athletes that are out here doing it and making their money the way that they can. And if it's out there, go ahead and the people will pay for it. So go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. And Teddy, Manson is no stranger to the Olympics. He made his Olympic debut in 2012 in the quadruple sculls, 4 men in a boat, just to give you a little picture of that.
That sounds
he
like a good
competed
porno.
in the double sculls in Rio in 2016, and he also achieved the notable success in the single sculls. In 2017, he set a single sculls world best time of 6 minutes of 30.74 seconds at the World Cup in Poland. Wow. So when you hear this and you hear OnlyFans, is this like a disconnect?
Well, the question to me will always be is if he had the money to only be an athlete, will he do OnlyFans? And if the answer is yes, then I will celebrate it. If the answer is no, then we have to look at why there's this inequity in salaries within even the sports, right? Because we have these people literally raking in millions and millions and millions of dollars, being ranked similarly to him. He's top 6, right? So he made it in the top 6 in the finals. So he's around the top 6 people that are doing that event at this time right now. And that's the question that I have. And, I also celebrate the fact that he has the freedom to do both. But I do want to answer that question if I could, right?
That's so well-rounded and so thought-provoking because it makes me think about what are the people that support or fund the Olympics? What is their output or their take-home from actually supporting the Olympics? So if it's not actually going to the athletes and the people that we are recognizing and that are actually doing the Olympic performance for us, then I wonder where all this money is going to.
Well, yeah.
Well, we do know a little bit of the business behind it, which is most of the onerous work falls into the host city, which is why none of the cities wanted to do it. Like literally they made Paris do it because Paris did not apply for this one. They applied for the 2020.
It costs the city
it's ridiculous.
Billions of dollars to do this.
There's really no money for the athletes at all.
Okay.
Some of this money comes from the Olympic committees, and some of the more wealthy countries will have more money, and also the sponsorships, which you guys are familiar with sponsorships and how that works. It's just really a popular contest. So that's what the questions that we should be asking ourselves as culture, maybe as countries.
Where's the money going?
Right. So,
and I think on a cool level, when we talk about, exposure and why do some sports, why does American football here, generate and get so much money over, generations, and why do gymnastics, for example, not? And Frederick Richard, who is a black gymnast on the current U.S. gymnastics team. And by the way, the current men's gymnastic team is so diverse. It's so exciting, as is the women's, more so than ever before. It's like so exciting. Not only are they winning, but they are so diverse. And Frederick's goal when he was a young boy, and I can almost attest to this too, because when I was a gymnast, I was the only brown boy amongst all these white kids. Mm-hmm. And I would back when I was super young, I mean, I went all the way through college, but when I was super young, I would win gold. And I was like, everyone was like, oh my God. But I was the only, I mean, maybe there was one, I think I remember one black other kid at one point, but I was the only brown kid, but I was winning at that time. Mm-hmm. And it's not a sport that drew in a very diverse crowd. And Frederick, who's on the current Olympic team, he's turned the sport over because it's his mission. He's on TikTok. He has generated a huge following to show people that gymnastics is a real thing. It's a men's sport as well as a women's sport. We get it, Simone, and we love Simone, but he wants to show that it's men's gymnastics as well. His whole mission right now, not only being an Olympian, is to generate more kids of people of color to get into the sport, because that's where the money will come. Right now, there's no money going towards that sport, and it won't, and it'll diminish if people like Frederick don't do what they're doing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Is he on OnlyFans? Because I like to see it.
He is not, sadly, but I know, I wish. But yeah, things to consider, things to, look out for, and I think all good. Hey guys, let's talk confidence. We all want it and strive for it, right? The Olympics have been so exciting, and the athletes have been giving me personal confidence based on their extraordinary performances. Let's face it, confidence doesn't just happen naturally. You have to work on it. And for athletes, it's practiced both mentally and physically. Confidence in the bedroom comes from good nutrition, exercise, rest, and a little natural help from our friends over at Joy Mode. Joy Mode's Sexual Performance Booster is an all-natural and science-backed solution to increase blood flow, firmness, stamina, and performance. It's so easy to take. Simply take one of their green palm-sized packets that you carry with you, along with 6 to 8 ounces of water before playtime. It dissolves easily, just like your favorite electrolyte drink, so put it in your water bottle. Worried about taking over-the-counter pills or prescription-based drugs? I am. Joy Mode's Sexual Performance Booster is all natural and can boost nitric oxide in your body, which not only supports your erection quality long-term, but also increases blood flow circulation. This allows for your cardiovascular system to pump blood more seamlessly and effectively to the areas of your body that need it, whether it's during workouts, sexual activity, or your regular daily exercise. The 30-pack comes in a perforated box, perfect for your supplement cabinet, pantry, or bathroom vanity. And it's the perfect 1-month supply. Support your erections, athletic performance, heart health, and overall quality of life with Joy Mode. You guys, I'm so excited about Joy Mode as I'm back shooting and filming for my adult content every week with some collabs on the horizon. But I need confidence every week to perform and not worry about being hard, firm, and ready. Instead, I want to focus more on the content. And I do that with the Sexual Performance Booster. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go back to over-the-counter drugs after trying Joy Mode. So go to usejoymode.com and get 20% off with the code TAGS, T-A-G-S, at checkout. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code TAGS, T-A-G-S, at usejoymode.com. Great sex solved naturally. All right, let's move on because let's get into... This just caught my attention because it came up. Sandra Bernhardt. We all know Sandra Bernhardt, right? Are you guys fans of her?
Love her.
I love her too, yeah. She was lamenting recently on a podcast like ours about her friendship with Madonna and what might happen if they ran into each other. And if you remember back in the day in the late 80s, they were thick as thieves. They were on David Letterman. Madonna and her were everywhere. They wore the same clothes at times, and I was living for it at the time. And Madonna always had to have a muse by her, and I was always loving it because I just thought this is Madonna's latest muse. And she said now, but then friendships like move apart and change. She said when asked, it would be fine, but I mean, I hate getting nostalgic, she said, and caught up. And, that time, it was the perfect time. The late 80s was when I was doing my one-woman show in New York, and I was friends with Madonna and doing Letterman. I mean, everything was just so fresh. So there are times when I'm like, that really makes me sad, We couldn't maintain our friendship. I mean, I could have, meaning, I guess, Madonna, when she was done with the friendship, she was over with it. But it brings up the question, and I want to know what you think about, that. But I also want to know, have you guys had friendships over the years where you're like, yeah, it was like a time, and it was amazing, but it was the time, and I just moved on. I can start just by saying absolutely. I mean, I've had friendships that were great. They were really great. And now they're more acquaintance friends. I've had friends that maybe I've moved on from for sure. And I've had friends that have tried to come back and tried to recreate maybe what we had. And I'm like, for me, it's hard to go backwards. If I've moved on, I've moved on. And it doesn't mean I don't love you and I have memories of those times, but I don't know. When I move on, I move on. And I just think, no. I don't know. Let's start with you, Kodi. Do you relate to Madonna or no?
So can I have more wine, please? This question is so... It applies to my life so much right now. I have had friendships that have lasted for years, and then we all of a sudden grew apart, and it hurts my heart that we're no longer aligned as friends, but I get that we're not in the same space, so it's time for us to go our separate ways a little bit. So hopefully we come back together, and because I am one of those people, I used to think I wasn't one of those people that could go backwards, but now I'm discovering that I am someone that if there was love there and it was genuine, then I can reconsider whether or not I want to be a friend or a lover or anything under that umbrella. So
yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you because it's so hard to go backwards. And I can think of a friend that we were so close. We did every single thing together. And now I still check in with him because I want to know. But I know we'll never be the way we were. And that's fine. But I am so interested in developing new friendships. Yeah. And today I was in Lisbon. It was my one summer trip and in June, and I met this woman and on this river cruise, and Eleni, shout out to Eleni.
Hey, Eleni.
And her and I just bonded. And I was talking to a friend of mine who also met her on the trip yesterday, and I'm like, I need to I've been thinking about Eleni, and she loves all of our social media, and she's in the Azores, which is a Portuguese-owned islands. And I thought, I'm going to reach out to her. Well, lo and behold, she said something like and said a whole thing to me in a DM. And I said, can we organize a call and she said, how about Saturday morning? And I said, yes. So she's a beautiful person, and it's I feel like sometimes you need to let some stuff go to make new things open up. And that sounds very sexual, and it can be as well. But how do you what Madonna and Sandra are talking about, and what about your experiences?
I think as somebody that, unlike you guys, it's not romantically involved, my main relationships other than my family. Okay. Are my friendships, and I think they're beautiful, right? Yeah. And we can see them even if they're, like a comet, right? That passed Earth and then it's not going to come back for hundreds of years, and enjoy what it lasts and the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I think that if people want to come back into our lives, we can have the grace of seeing what they see in us, because sometimes we don't see ourselves as a healing person or something, because we do bring something good if they're trying to reconnect. So I do feel bad for Sandra that she looks at that friendship that for us was really beautiful in kind of like a sad way, because what they had, it looked like it was beautiful. And I think that even myself, that I'm here seeing my friend, I haven't really seen her in 4 years, but when I got the invite and I was like, well, this person really wants me to be in their lives. And we do check in with each other, but you know, why not spend a couple more dollars and like spend a couple of days together and rekindle what we had 20 years ago? I think that's beautiful. And if you keep yourself open to that, maybe you can have more beautiful moments as opposed to not have them, which is the opposite, right?
Yeah. And we're talking about a very high-profile friendship that was out there. It's almost like Bennifer, but a friendship version of it. And I get it that it, you know, and I think Madonna's on a whole tier that she has, like, how many kids? And what is she doing?
6 now.
So maybe if Sandra reached out to her, but I mean, I don't know. They probably.
I feel like they could rekindle. I do.
Absolutely.
Look at Jennifer. You said Bennifer. Look at Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and that should not have a rekindle. So.
and assuming that they didn't have any, you know, huge fallout.
Yeah.
Sandra should have just gone to the concert because Madonna was bringing on. She would find out who was coming to the concert.
She could have been on stage.
She should have just been a guest.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Did we think that they were always like
lesbians
together? Right.
I think that's what I think Madonna knew that Sandra was a lesbian and was playing.
Wait,
with
but Madonna's
that.
bi, right?
She says she's
is fluid.
Yeah.
I feel like, and
so
she loves lesbians.
And
she had
I
Rosie
think she
O'Donnell.
definitely leaned into that fact, you know, for a while. But it worked for her at the time.
Yeah, she had Rosie O'Donnell as her friend too. She loves lesbians.
Yeah,
there's so much out there for Madonna.
Yeah. I'm not a Madonna
She loves
head.
people.
What are the Madonna fans called? Do they have a name?
I don't know.
Like
that we do.
You want me to Google it really
Lambily.
quick? I can.
I'll
Do
switch
we
you now. Do you know?
really?
I don't think Madonna's.
Where's Lincoln
There's
when
no
you
one.
need him?
All right.
I mean, I have my
Hi,
homage
Lincoln.
over here, but
The Lambs.
okay, well, you look that up.
Got
We've
it.
got to get some advice, and there's
Reddit.
Yes, Reddit, exactly. And this is the one that you wanted to do, Kodi, the other day, and it's called Sensual Tops.
That's
What's
me.
your take? I'm in my late 30s and prefer to be a top sexually. However, I've noticed there's a lot of stereotypes and expectations about tops that I just don't fit. My long-term ex-partner actually cited sexual incompatibility as the main reason for the breakup. And he wanted a dominant, assertive, masculine partner, whereas I'm more romantic, sensitive, gentle, and sensual in bed. Following the breakup, I feel pretty insecure about my masculinity and sexuality, like I'm not good enough or man enough as a top for most guys. I was seriously considering switching to identifying as a side just to avoid having to justify myself. I'm shy, introverted, and reserved until I get to know the person, and I'm worried no one will take me seriously if I don't act like a top. Assertive, dominant, taking the lead. I'm not particularly sub or femme, just not stereotypically masculine. What's your take on tops that are more sensitive and sensual?
I want to go first.
Okay, go. Go, Teddy. You're our guest.
Okay, let me tell you something, Kodi. Just kidding.
No, tell me, Dime.
You know, we need to stop with these stereotypes, okay?
Thank you.
Like a
100%.
good femtop. If you haven't experienced a good femtop, you're missing on the blessings of the universe.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, there's a blessed wand right there. So, this guy can call me. Please reach out to our podcast. What the hell are these boys doing on the streets? Seriously.
Girl.
Oh, you need to be this way, this way. We were talking about boxes earlier, right? And how harmful that can be for our community. We need to stop doing that. We just need to start loving people for who they are. And if you want to be pounded harder, just say that. Not say that you're not masculine enough. What the hell are you talking about? If he's the top, he likes topping you. I'm just saying. We need to stop doing that.
Do you think, I just wrote the note really quickly, do you think it's too much porn, that maybe they're watching too much porn and they're like trying to emulate that?
You know, that's
these
not,
bottoms.
that's not, these bottoms.
Well, the ones that like.
Wait, you bottoms? No,
That's an
joking.
Now I'm a top right
I
now
know, that's what
in
I'm
my
joking.
relationship. So
You're like
Goodness.
you come to the dark side.
check yourself.
I gotta say, I do like a converted top. That's really good. That's really good. Maybe it is I do agree. Maybe it's not even porn. It's just the images of what we do see that people. Whatever is available in the media, it's the things that they know that is available for them to do. And that's true for all the spectrum. Even the trigger warning, the shooters, they see other people doing shootings and they think that's available. But let's make it to the positive stuff. It's, we do see tops being more sensitive, more sensual. We don't see that, right? It's always the top. It's like the rough one, the Heath Ledger one that spits on you, right?
The clips that are really, and I
Heath
mean,
Ledger.
sensual tops.
Remember?
I mean, I
remember.
think when you're just finding out somebody that you want to hook up with somebody, you want to be like, wham, bam, like you're looking for that pounding. But I think that there can actually be a sensual top, and I'm learning that as a newfound top myself with my boyfriend.
Do say more.
Well, I'm learning that, like, because we are so in love and like expressing our love all the time now, which is really I know
It's great,
And
right?
so the sensual part of it has a huge component when I'm topping him, but there are times when he's like, give it to me, and I then turn into like that side of it too, because we're in the, it's the rhythm of the night has moved to that, and then it's like, no, he wants to just get pounded at this point. But when we're like starting out, if we had like a night in and it was beautiful, and then we're like, he doesn't want to get pounded immediately. Like
Can I unpack a little bit of what you said?
Oh.
But sorry, I'm on the side an expert
I
on
would just
the
go take a nap, okay?
I'm sorry, baby.
No, you're
I love
fine.
you. No, the thing is, what you're saying, it's exactly what I said. It's their communication of.
Yes.
He's not telling you, hey, don't be yourself. He's saying, now is the time. Right? To switch it up, and this is what I want, which is different of what the Reddit was saying, but it's literally saying you're not masculine enough. Do you see how negative that is?
Yeah.
Right?
You bring up great
basically-
points, because that was the innuendos of the whole piece, is
Right.
that it brings up all those little, you're femme, you're not, you shouldn't be this, and Cody, go.
It's shaming versus being supportive in it. So if you shame somebody for who they are, then that doesn't leave any room for growth. But if you support them in who they are and you try to have them expand who they are and how they express themselves sexually, then that takes a whole different aspect to it. It can actually support them into growth and discovering who they are sexually. Me personally, I think the best tops are the ones who can pound you the fuck out into the ground and also switch it up and make you feel loved and make you feel supported and make you feel held and safe. That is what I do as a top, is what I aspire to, because you were reading it and I was like, that's me, I'm a sensual top. But then he said that he couldn't go into that. I think that the more that you explore your sexuality and how you represent yourself as a top, the more that you are open to actually being all facets of it. I think that you should explore all of it. And I think that because it's not just one type of person, it's not just one type of top to suit all types of situations.
But in general, if you're just trying to hook up, most bottoms are probably just looking for a pounding. And so is this person, just to be devil's advocate, are they asking for too much for a sensual top, or should they actually be putting that more in their profile? I'm looking for taking the time with me. It's a different one, but I'm
I was going to say,
but,
are they in a relationship?
Yeah, they were
at
together.
all? I thought they were in a relationship.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know.
Like,
I don't remember
Excuse me, I
either.
didn't
They
read
broke
it.
up. They broke up. Yeah. That's a different thing. And
Well, I brought up a different topic, but
Yeah.
you're
But
right.
no, I definitely, when I go out and hook up with people, not that I've done it recently, but
never.
I go to pound them out and to come in them and leave them dripping.
Okay, but then,
Exactly.
I guess then to the point that you guys corrected me on, because I didn't even read my own story or comprehend it when I read it, is then, I mean, if you're not, is it just a lack of communication, Teddy?
There's a absolutely lack of communication,
Yeah.
for sure. And like I said before,
why are you
Cody
writing
called
it?
me.
Yeah.
But no, in all honesty, like it just seems like these people were not communicating at all.
Correct.
And as if these sensual tops are usually very sensitive, that means that they want to take their time because, you can hurt a bottom like by being too aggressive too early, right? So everybody wants wine, Cody, please.
I'm doing my best over here, okay?
And, there was a lack of communication. And the thing is that what needed to happen is that he wanted to try the harder spectrum and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like he never got the opportunity to do it. If the situation is, hey, I want a rough tonight, and the maximum of his roughness was not met, because sometimes we can be in a different, people have different libidos, different styles, and they might not be a match. But it seems like he never got to explore the whole range of his topness, if we can call it that.
Oh,
yeah,
it's definitely that.
And I know I bring up my friend who I adore, Will of Tantric Fitness, who, you can explore these realms with your partners, and you can go down these realms when it's just going to be like, let's try this. And by try this, let's try something different sexually and hardcore. And then other times it's boyfriend night, it's husband night, and let's do sensual night, and let's explore our bodies. And you can have this circadian rhythm that you can create for yourselves that can be beautiful. And then it's just like, wow, but it's all based on communication, and it's all based on talking to your partner about and putting this as a priority, as you would, hey, what's your schedule next week? What are you doing this? And you've got to make this a priority. And I think that would be some really good advice as well for that. So
I mean, look, good sex doesn't happen automatically. It's something that you have to put work into, especially if you're in a relationship. Maybe if it's one night, then it can happen authentic, spontaneously. But I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's over an extended amount of time, and you have to put in work for it to be actually what the two of you want. It's to be a combination of your wants and your needs sexually.
well stated.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Okay, well, this is lovely. I love it. Thank you. This has been amazing, you guys. I want to remind everybody that August 15th is our live stream for our Patreon members, and Cody and I will be live here in this studio. Actually, we're going to recreate it, though. And we are going to be telling stories that we don't normally tell on this show. It's really exciting. But more importantly, Cody is going to be singing 4 songs for us. Yes. And including his brand new single, Talk About It, inspired by this show, which we all know and love. If you don't know it, you can get it everywhere where you download your music. Talk About It, Cody Maurice is where you get it. But the way to get tickets to this is go to our Patreon page. And when you grab a tier, you get extra special sexy perks like commercial free. Who doesn't want that?
Right.
I mean, because right now we have a lot of commercials. I know that. Sorry. But beyond that, you get things like our extra bonus topics and bonus episodes and our Discord channel community where you get to talk to us during the week and weigh in on our topics, plus more. Check it out. Go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. Go there anyway, because even if you don't want to grab a tier, you can get extra free content, and we're going to shoot some tonight that you will only get on our Patreon page with Teddy, because we were just going to suck all the life out of him while he's here.
Suck me dry.
Like vampires. What's the show you're watching right now? Interview with a Vampire?
Oh my God, it's so
we're going to be
good.
vampires with him now.
And can I tell you, don't be sorry, because we got bills to pay, and that is what it's all about at the end of the day.
Thank you, boo.
Okay, don't be sorry.
Go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast, and the live stream is August 15th, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So get your tier before then. I want to thank our co-hosts. I want to thank Teddy, Alexis for being in studio today. You know, you can always follow Teddy on the gram at Teddy Alexis. Anything you want to promote, Teddy?
Just my Instagram at Teddy Alexis. I will post some stuff in there later.
And this buzz cut.
Oh, and yes,
this is my mask era, baby.
Your new look right now is
we got some work to do.
I'm available, y'all.
You are rocking it. You look great.
Thank
it's
you,
great
baby.
to see you.
These people, can I say something before you wrap it up? I know you're wrapping up. Kodi and Steve look so beautiful in real life. This is a nice apartment. They're beautiful. Thank you for having me. You guys, I love you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Teddy.
you.
We love you.
You can always follow.
Beautiful.
Yes. You can always follow Kodi. He's a life coach. Follow him at KMD Coaching on the gram, KMD Coaching, or his personal account at Mr. Maurice. Mr. Maurice. Who doesn't like saying that?
I know, right?
Get his single, talk about it. Follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V, or go to my Twitter at TAGSPodcast, where you get a preview of my OnlyFans or Just for Fans and new content, I swear, coming out every week. And if you're not staying here, I'm shooting more like this.
Oh,
week.
wait.
What?
I can leave. I will go. I will leave. I will
You
go.
could be a part of it if you really want to be. Anyway, at Tags Podcast. And guys, in the meantime, and thanks, Austin, studio audience. Shout out to, where are you from? Texas in the house.
Texas in the house.
In the meantime, continue having hot gay sex.